Yeah, I want to talk about some of the garbage that's on YouTube. Yeah, I notice some people think I'm full of shit too. Who knows? But generally, I like putting stuff out as how to fix something, how to do something. Generators, food supply, how to fix a car, how to do construction, health stuff, how to cure something. I like stuff like that usually. The silver stuff, I mainly do it because I don't like so many other channels out there and the bullshit they say. I do a lot of those videos because I want people to stick with it. So I think the dollar is going to crash. Is going to crash. Everybody's going to get fucked. That's what I say. But I want to say this. If you're like a gun owner and you know about weapons and stuff, make sure you teach your family all this stuff too. Make sure you'll teach our little kiddies and stuff. This is my great nephew. I could say his name, but he's really smart, but he don't know nothing about guns yet. I want to teach him a whole bunch of stuff. He's only 7, but that's old enough. It's old enough. That's about when I was getting into it. And my father was an MP during the Korean War. So I taught my cousins, and they were in Vietnam and that type of stuff. I'm not going to talk about all this shit, but the thing is, make sure the gun culture keeps going. Because one thing I can't stand, I saw some stories out there, I think it was in New York City, where some grandfather gave to his grandson a paper gun, like he folded it up with a freaking piece of paper, and, made a paper gun, and they went ballistic about that shit. Or if you point to somebody like this, you go to jail because you're threatening with a finger. Fucking bunch of bullshit. I got a problem with that kind of shit. I don't even think people like that should breathe air. Those Gestapo motherfuckers that say that kind of shit, they shouldn't even breathe air. But I just got to say this, because a lot of shit I see on YouTube, there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of people claiming they're survivalists, they're preppers, they were in the military, they did this, and all this other shit. They're a load of crap. A lot of them are. And I can tell you this, people will be brave under different circumstances too. That's another thing. And people have different strengths. Actually, you'll find a lot of people have superhuman strengths when they fuck with member of somebody's family. That's another thing too. You'll find anybody can get really brave then. Fuck with the wrong people and they'll retaliate. That's one thing probably the so-called New World Order ain't going to be able to figure out. Because all of a sudden, sometimes people turn into vengeful superhumans, Fuck with somebody in their family, they're going to come back at you 20 times more. But I want to say this. In a lot of ways, I hope the U.S. dollar crashes. But, I don't think it is. You know why? Because the guys that are in control have to pay people to keep the control. And how are they paying them? In U.S. dollars. So that's one bullshit thing you got to watch for when these guys say the sky's falling, the U.S. dollar is going to go to oblivion. Doubt it. Doubt it very much. Because if it goes to oblivion, the guys on the top just lost control. See? Maybe it is going to happen. Maybe they don't know everything. But they don't want it to go to oblivion. It's going to go down, but it ain't going to go down as far as people think. But I also want to point out, they might freaking pull out is a lot of these checks going for like Social Security disability. In a lot of cases, I think a lot of these people are full of shit, to tell you the truth. What I've seen, a lot of these people on Social Security disability are a bunch of garbage. It's a mixed bag. Some aren't, some aren't. But even in the military, you got people that were like, got severe disabilities from injuries sustained in warfare. And, they deserve the best of everything, to sustain them, and they deserve that disability check. But how many times I've seen people get out in the military, disability, that were just a pile of freaking wimps? Really, I can't stand them. I mean, I never went to the freaking corpsman unless they fucking forced me to go. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go. I can't stand that shit. I never did like it. And now I really hate doctors even more, but I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go. And I've seen so many people get out with these knee injuries, elbow injuries, rare disease. A lot of them were women, too. Guys were doing it, too, but freaking women, man, getting out of the military. Disability, disability, lifetime check. You were a Marine? Fuck you, you're bullshit. So I've seen a lot of that kind of shit too. So, you know, people go on the internet too, they talk about prepping and all this kind of stuff and what happens in combat and all this kind of shit. A lot of times nothing happens in combat too. Depends on where you are. Even of the combat people, not many people actually see combat, you know? It's just like a boring, nerve-wracking bunch of bullshit. That's all it is. You know, a lot of cases. A lot of cases. So, you know, as far as like, you know, what you're seeing on YouTube, for most part, is a pile of bullshit. And the people that really, you can't really say the whole deal because it would be against YouTube's policies. That's the other thing. But, you know, I gotta say this. When the US dollar does go down quite a bit and doesn't crash all the way, but say it goes down quite a bit, and they also cut off a lot of payments going to people that the New World Order people on the top don't really think are necessary, you know, like disability payments and stuff like that. In other words, they keep the money going to the active people that are enforcing their rules, you know, to keep that going. But there's unexpected things that can happen because, you know, you don't have to be combat this or combat that, because I'll tell you one way. You want to turn somebody into a vengeful maniac? Kill somebody in your family or do something to somebody in your family. They could be the most peaceful person in the world. You want to see them turn into a freaking vengeful person that will do anything to get back? That's all you got to do. And that's one thing the New World Order ain't going to figure out. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to say this. The shit's going to fall apart. But just the only way you're going to make it fall apart is if they make the first move and they do rotten shit to people and people get pissed off. You don't have to be a combat veteran to fight back. That's bullshit. You know, you could be anybody. You know, you could be, you know, a 17-year-old or you could be a 77-year-old. It ain't going to matter. Somebody fucks with somebody in your family and screws them up, you're going to go back at them. That's all there is to it. So that's one thing the New World Order isn't figuring on. But I say this, you want to have the means to do so. You got to have the gun. Now I'll tell you one thing, with this guy here, first chance I get, I'm going to be teaching him about guns, big time. And if any fucking teacher gives him any shit, fuck them. I ain't going to say what I'm going to do, but I'm going to get him back. Because I'm going to tell you right now, these bitches and these assholes out there in New York City and New Jersey, they're pushing this gun control, New World Order shit. They can go to hell. They can go to hell all the way. I don't really give a shit about them. So, but I just want to say this. I can't say a lot on here. You know? I can't say a lot on here. But I just want to say this. A lot of these fucking people on YouTube, they're so fucking full of shit, they make me want to throw up. Really. That's why I really don't look at YouTube for a lot of that. I look at it for like car shit, you know, Jay Leno's Garage, you know, look at songs and stuff like that. As far as the news and shit, I don't get it off of here. Not really. Not really. So, but I just want to have this more like a pep talk, more or less, because, you know, I can't say a lot of shit. But, you know, as long as you got the means to get them back, if they start fucking somebody over in your family, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of average people would go to superhuman real fast. They would have powers they wouldn't believe they had, and they'd be able to do a lot of things they never believed they could do. Just fuck somebody over in your family, and that's what the New World Order is going to get back at them. But as long as these people have the guns to do it, no problem. Never give up the guns. And keep this gun culture going, big time. You know? And any kind of goddamn teacher that says otherwise, I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I'd love to say, but I can't. Fuck them. Fuck them all the way. That's all I got to say with that. Alright?